Where is it? Okay. Hey, y'all. So I do not feel like going on camera right now. So enjoy Mort as my background. Because I have like 8 different skincare products on. And I don't feel like looking like a graceful on camera. But yeah, like I'm in bed, right? And I'm just sitting here thinking, like Nikki does, overthinking, plotting, as usual, and I'm thinking about spiritual bypassing, right? Like, I've been in bed for a few hours trying to go to sleep, and I can't get this out of my head, because I saw this, video earlier on Instagram of this girl, I don't know, or lady. She was like in her 30s or 40s, I guess. And she was at some convention, I guess, asking this very well-renowned spiritual self-proclaimed guru, I guess. She asked him, like, oh, I have a dysfunctional family. How do I deal with that? Blah, blah, blah. And his answer basically was, don't let it affect you. You know, we're always evolving. You're evolving every second. Just basically rewrite the narrative and pretend that you don't have a dysfunctional family and you never did. Like, no joke. That was his solution. And it struck a chord with me because that is like not my belief system, you know? And it makes me appreciate ATR, especially Paulo, and to an extent, you know, Sanse and Espiritismo, because I think when it's done correctly, it acknowledges your humanity and the shit that we go through. And, you know, yes, it's beautiful to hear, like, don't let it affect you, brush it off, shake it off, but like, this is where ancestral and generational trauma starts and ends. Like, you think y'all's Agun don't know that your family is toxic? Or that you're trying to leave that toxic relationship or whatever? They do. And, I mean, we have to protect ourselves. And I think it can be a trap, honestly. I mean, some of y'all, you know, you get down on yourselves because you feel like, oh, I should just be able to manifest like that. I should be able to, like, brush this off and not let it affect me. Like, don't get me wrong. I have those moments where I just snap out of something. But 90% of the time, it's when I get to a point where I'm so fed up with something and my own spirit within me is just done. And that's it. Because I have reached my threshold and I snap out of whatever love, caring energy, compassion, lust, whatever it may be. It just turns off like a switch, right? But with other stuff, like, you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your energy. You have to acknowledge, like, negative people, negative spirits, negativity, it exists. And yes, it can be beautiful because you can learn certain things, and I get that. But, like, you have to protect yourself instead of just brushing it off. Like, don't get obsessed, right? Because literally you're letting those bad people, like, bring you down to their swamp of dustiness. But be reasonable. It's the same thing as, like, if someone was trying to break into your house. Like, if someone was trying to break into your house, if they know that you're just not going to do anything, you're not going to defend yourself, you're not going to defend your property, you're not going to call the police, you're just going to keep watching Netflix while they break into your house and destroy and take your stuff and leave, right? And you don't do anything about it, you not doing anything about it does not change the fact that somebody is trying to, like, disrupt your life. And your life is your home. Like, your body, your being, that's your first home. This is the longest real estate you will ever have. Your body is the longest real estate that you will ever be in possession of. Your mind, same thing. Like, acting like something does not exist does not make it go away. And this is coming from me. And I can be an ice queen, boo. Like, if someone has severely hurt me, the way that I get over it, and I process it, like, I cry, I vent to my spirits, to my friends, and I process it, but, like, externally, I act like they don't exist, right? But I'm talking about when someone or something is actively trying you and legitimately trying to disrupt your life in some way, or is disrupting your life in some way. Like, again, the house analogy. If someone knows that you have a case full of pew-pews, don't know what I'm saying because I have to censor myself. If they know that you have an alarm system, security cameras, a case of pew-pews that are easily accessible, and all these protective measures, and you have spirits on top of that, like, if they're a rational, somewhat intelligent human being, they're going to think twice before trying to break into your house. Because you take efforts to protect yourself instead of acting like negativity doesn't exist and bad people don't exist. You know what I mean? Like, it just pisses me off because it's very dangerous. And it can really, like, disrupt someone's life if they're following this advice. Because how are you on social media preaching about, like, oh, I'm healing ancestral trauma? How can you heal something if you don't even acknowledge it, beloved? Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't go together. Like, don't dwell in it, don't sit in this shit, but if you have to fight back against it and break the curse and break the pattern and get the bullshit away from you, then do it. You know? Like, this new age crap gets the fuck on my nerves. But that's the difference in ATR versus new age. Look at the things that ATR comes from. Look at the people that ATR comes from. And what they've been through and what they had to fight through and all these different things. Like, I swear to God, it has so much in common with colonization. It's ridiculous. Like, let me tell you something. My ancestors aren't with that. Girl. I mean, and I'm optimistic. I'm a pretty joyful person. Like, in my day-to-day life, yes, I can be emotional and all these things, but for the most part, I'm a pretty happy person. Like, no lie. That's not a lie. And I still acknowledge, like, I have to protect that happiness. Because God knows I have worked very hard for it, and so have my spirits. You know, and so have the people that guide me. So, this new age crap just gets on my nerves, honestly. Because it doesn't make any sense, and it's not in alignment with the real world. Like, I don't know, I think that a lot of people have church trauma, and they came from the church, and maybe they feel like there's so much emphasis on, you know, the devil, and evil, and sin, and all these things. They want to go so far to the other end of the spectrum and act like, you know, it doesn't exist. They might not outwardly say it doesn't exist, but that's their approach to it. And it's like, how can you protect yourself properly? How can you protect yourself properly? Like, anyway, And with my moon placement, which, if you're being nosy and trying to figure it out, you're probably not going to, if I've never told you. But protection is like a really big thing of mine. And I just don't have patience or compassion with people that like really try to disrupt me and mine. Like, let me tell you something. It takes a lot for me to cut my compassion off. Because I am so nurturing. I am so loving. I'm so, like, soft and cuddly. But I end up like Mort. Right? Like, just crazy. Not crazy, but fed up. So that's my little rant. I'm gonna go to bed now, honestly. So, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Don't let people try you. And spiritual bypassing is just ridiculous. Like, you have to work at this stuff. Sometimes, yes, you do need to do a ritual. Like, yes, you do need to do a cleansing. Like, it takes work. You don't need to be obsessive and do too much, but it's like, I don't know. Anyway, night-night. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.